What's your culture shock?
Oh my god, okay. Just looked at it for a hot minute because I didn't know.
You saw me and he got scared.
No, you can't. You have to get out.
How?
Please answer. Hey guys and girls on Ash Japanese, it's your flashy fashion reporter, Kathy Cat, and guess what? We're gonna ask the topic that keeps on giving. Culture shock. We got some new ones, fresh culture shocks from people here, something to laugh about. So let's go and ask foreigners in Japan. All right guys, where are you from?
From Berlin.
From Berlin.
Berlin.
Yay, all the Berlin girls are here. First time in Japan?
Second time, actually.
Also second time.
First time.
All right. First time in Japan, why Japan?
I've been interested in the culture for a long time. I'm a huge fan of the cuisine. My best friend is actually studying here, taking exchange here, so I want to take the time, see her again, make it a special memory. Yeah.
And for you guys, why Japan again?
Japan again because we had Japanese in high school.
What?
Yeah, 10 years ago. And it's just like growing up and coming back. And also we are visiting our friends. So yeah, recovering and being just here from all the Berlin stuff. It's sometimes very heavy. So yeah, just chilling and vibing. Yay.
And vibing, yes. One for you?
Yeah, exactly. Like same reason for my friend, of course, but also getting out of Berlin, actually. And yeah, like reconnecting, because it's like such a big difference. And then if you go on a vacation, you want to like go on a vacation. So this is like the longest vacation I've ever been on, 3.5 weeks. So yeah.
Culture shock. What gave you the culture shock?
I work at a youth club. And the kids here having the uniforms and everything, it's so different.
Oh, it gave you a culture shock?
Actually, yeah, it did. As a shock, I wouldn't say a shock, but I don't know. It's pressure put on kids already. I don't know if that's what the shock is. Just being kids and not being like little adults.
How old are the kids you're teaching?
5 years old, 12 years old, like in that range. But
You've
also,
seen them in uniform.
Yeah.
And that made you feel how?
I don't know, like if they're trying to steal the childhood a bit and just not being like childish and crazy and loud, like in the trains you have to be quiet, and also they and all the culture rules and everything put on them at that age is a bit heavy.
So you kind of still want them to wear their Mickey Mouse t-shirt.
Be loud and childish and crazy and not fitting in, and I don't know if Japan or Tokyo has the room for that. Yeah.
I think it depends on the type of school. Some are like very strict already from a very small age, and some you can wear the t-shirts until you then go into school.
Yeah.
And you have a culture shock, and I'm excited to hear because you already told your friends don't laugh.
It's smoking on the street. You're not allowed to do that. It's like, I mean, there are specific areas, but like I'm so used to just like rolling a cigarette and then like smoking, and here nobody rolls cigarettes. There's like no one walking and smoking, and I think that's insane because in Berlin like every single one is smoking. Everyone is just like smoking while walking, and then like that goes like the same like with the trash. Like everyone is just taking their trash. I am not used to that. So yeah, like culture rules again. Yeah. But that was such a shock for me. I was like, okay, where's the next smoking area, guys?
Where?
I swear to God, where?
If you were living here, do you think you would smoke less?
Oh my God, for sure. I've been smoking so much less the past few days because it's just like laziness, and it's just the convenience that's not there. So you're more likely to just like not do it.
So if you make it less accessible, you're less likely to smoke.
Exactly. I mean, good for them, good for the health. But my smoker heart is just crying a bit.
Do you know where the nearest smoking place is?
Over there, we just smoked one right before we came to you.
What did give you the culture shock? Anything where you're like, okay, that is very different.
So the bathrooms, well, specifically the toilet. Sorry to talk about this, but no, the bidet. It's so nice having it, honestly, because I mean, we don't got that really. You have to install it yourself, at home. But yeah, it's very nice.
When did you first experience it or find it, and what did you do?
The airport. Yeah, and
and it's like, oh, that's how we're doing it. Okay, cool.
Yep, exactly. First thing, and just looked at it for a hot minute because I didn't know.
It's a whole
But
raft of buttons that we have to figure out.
Yep.
What did you do? Did you like dare push it? Did you go like, I'm not going to touch that?
Yeah, no, I did not use it the first time. At the hotel, I was brave enough, but I did it and it was nice.
No turning back now.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope, exactly.
I think mine was the structure, just walking into customs even, just at the airport, just all the lines are very set up. Everybody's got, almost goes back to what she was saying about it being considerate. They don't expect everyone to know English. They have signs, they'll come up to you and point at the English and say, hey, I got to check your bag. I have to inspect your bag now. All the lines are very clearly marked out. It's just the kind of rigid structure, corporate structure almost of just everything. Try to get everything through efficient. That's the word, is efficient.
How would that be compared to back in Texas?
It's just different. You just kind of have to figure it out and ask a lot of questions in the US, which most people I think are fine with. But here they try to, like, it's all laid out very nicely in multiple languages. There's no, I don't know. You can just look and go, oh, I see. I can follow this line on the floor and figure it out. Where back home it would be more of a question of, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Where am I going? I don't know. You're just bothering a lot more people that way.
My culture shock, I think, was is it the onsens? The bars? Yeah, like the naked ones. Yeah. I think, yeah, like that was for me. Like everyone just, jumping into a public bath naked. I think just because we don't have those back in Australia. So yeah, that was it for me, I think, from my last trip here.
Yeah, did you like go in there expecting to wear a swimsuit?
We were kind of told that it was okay if we wore our underwear, but I think we were kind of a bit misled and lost in translation. And then a lady came out to the group of us, women coaches, that had gone in and said, "No, you can't. You have to get out." And we were like, "Okay." She was like, "Off or out?" We're like, "No, we'll get out." Okay, yeah. Just didn't realize.
So now you're prepared for this time?
Yes, yeah.
The only suit you're allowed to wear is your birthday suit.
Yes. Yeah, correct.
One thing, I don't know if it's a culture shock, but that surprised me. I thought I'd struggle to get around and read things, but everything seems to have a bit of English and everyone seems to have a little bit of English. Like we've spoken to all the people so far in customer service and we can get the idea across of what we're asking, which I didn't even think we'd be able to do. So that's been pretty nice. Makes it easier.
Yeah, surprisingly lots of English now.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. I said if someone came to Australia, we probably wouldn't be able, not as many of us would be able to help them. So it's lovely to come here and be so welcomed by everyone. Yeah. But yeah,
that's definitely changed in the 10 years that I've been here. There wasn't that much English, but there's a lot more now.
Yeah, definitely. It's awesome.
In my country, we're very we always greet people, and every time we see someone, we smile. We call that being tica linda, so the pretty Costa Rican. So it was weird for me, especially in Tokyo, that everyone is just very serious and they just kind of try to ignore you. And actually yesterday I saw someone in my apartment and he saw me and he got scared. And I was like, why are you scared?
Oh, you were saying hi to him?
No, I just was passing by, but I think he wanted to avoid me. So that was a culture shock. Yes, it wasn't that much in Osaka. If I smile at them, they smile back, kinda. So yes, but here they're very serious.
So you think Osaka people are a bit more warm?
Maybe, I think so. They were more talkative too. I think more friendly. Yes.
I shouldn't say it out loud, but there are many FSK 18 things that are really shocking me. For the first time I was like, oh my god, okay.
Where did you see those?
In Akihabara, you have many big malls with stuff that you don't see usual in the open public. And this was my first culture shock. I was standing there with some people and I was like, okay, that's really unusual for German people. Like you told, we're really, really conservative. And this was okay, they're really open-minded about that stuff.
Was there some sort of curtain or was it a special building? Did you accidentally go on the wrong floor?
No, we went to that in Don Quixote. You have always, I think it's always the last floor, and you always have this little curtain. And this was okay, yeah. And after that, we recognized the signs on the buildings, and then we thought, okay, that's one, and that's one too. Okay, so they have many in Akihabara.
Oh, of Don Quixote or of the 18?
The 18 thing.
a lot of stuff. Holy moly, Akihabara is wild. You go on the wrong floor and you'll see all kinds of things.
Should we take you there?
What's your culture shock then?
It's not so big, but all the music that is playing everywhere. Even in one shop, there are 20 different songs playing, and it's so overwhelming. Yeah, that's totally different in Germany.
Do the songs battle each other in the stores too?
Yes.
You might sometimes not hear what your friends are saying.
Sometimes, yes.
Yep.
It was a very chill metal concert. Like, at least where I was, I heard the story of someone that was being pushed, but where I was, everyone was like respecting each other's place. Like, no one bumped into each other, even though we were like headbanging and jumping around. But it was very chill. That was surprising.
Chill in the meaning of safe, or what do you mean with chill?
I don't know, because like in my country, concerts of like indie bands that it's more like chill music, people just get crazy and make mosh pits with like something that's very tranquil. So I was surprised by that too.
So you expected actually more crazy, more mosh pit. It was actually pretty chill.
I know mosh pits won't happen at, like I said, concert, but I was expecting like at least being bumped a little bit, but it never happened.
So, okay, do you prefer that?
Maybe. I like to jump more, but I did like that there was no bumping and not worry about being bumped and stuff.
So more jumping, less bumping.
Yes.
Short skirts without anything under.
No tights.
No
boots.
tights, no
The
everything.
boots.
It's like cold. I'm shivering, and I don't know.
And these
Shout
girls,
out to
they
you
do not
girls.
care, yeah.
Guys,
I don't know.
it was like snowing yesterday, and you would still find these girls with the shorter skirts and like no like no tights, no legs, nothing.
And they look happy. They look happy as well.
I guess Japanese people, they have like they have a specific like appreciation when it comes to simplicity. Like they appreciate like very simple things. I think like when it comes to food and also when it comes to like smell, they appreciate like very like subtle, very like very like perfumey smells, which I can like see but not relate to because I'm Middle Eastern. I love like perfume. I love very intense, sweet, perfumey, like vanilla smells, whatever. And like I've been told to like tone down a little with it because they do not appreciate it. And they like, I heard that they like Japanese people, they can like smell when someone is a tourist. So I guess I would say that. Yeah.
The smell situation. So have you toned down the amount of smell you spray on yourself?
Unfortunately, yes.
There's a thing that has changed in Japan and has gone quite crazy is the amount of gachas that you can see. These machines here, and they've started to have so many because they're so popular that they're really like weird and bizarre ones. Like this one here is actually, it looks like a watch, but it's actually weight scales. This is where your feet would go. This is like the last thing you want to look at every day when you look at your watch is a weight scale that says like, it's, I don't know, 1230 or something like that. But that's just one of the many crazy new gachas that have developed now, and I think because a lot of tourists spend a lot of money on them, they can come up with crazier and funnier ideas. I have a couple of crazy ones. The most recent one I have is like that little button that you push when you're in a restaurant and you want the waitress to come. There's more though. There's a lot more. Check out this video here for more funny culture shocks and things you should know before you come to Japan. And I hope you have subscribed because it would be lovely to see you again here on Ask Japanese. Bye!